Well, hi, a very warm welcome to Dusty Shelf. I hope I find you well. Well, it's a week on. Last weekend, I was feeling dreadful. I didn't go to any railway shows, so I sat at home, and the J13 arrived from Hornby. So I spent the weekend filming a review of the J13. If you haven't seen it, go and have a look, because it's absolutely brilliant model from Hornby. I was over the moon with it. So much so, though, that it put me in a good mood, and I spent even more money and bought the J13, which is this delivery that I took this week. Now, I started the J15 review talking about the packaging, and I'm going to do the same on the J13, because this is how it should be done. This is absolutely perfect. So, delivered in this carton here, all I've done is take my name off the front of it. I have actually opened it up because I couldn't contain my excitement. I wanted to have a look at the model, so I have opened it. But inside the box here, we got in the lid building happiness with Hornby Hobbies here, and then on this side it says building a happier world for all of us, and inside a little bit of paper there just to keep the box still. And you can see this is the cardboard carton. Now, for those of you that didn't watch or haven't watched the previous review of the J15, basically this box that you see here, which is the outer carton for the Hornby model, all Hornby had done, or their delivery company, is just stuck my name and address on it and put it in the post. And although it did have some marks on the front, it did arrive undamaged, but I just felt it was so underwhelming. This, on the other hand, it's been an absolute pleasure already to open. And see in the bottom here, look, Hornby Hobbies with all the logos of the, we've got Airfix and Corgi, and we also got Jouf and Hornby. They're all on there, all their different logos. It's just already, I'm in a better mood opening this. So on the box here, we've got R30365 GNR Class J13 060 ST in Era 2. You see it's got a 21 pin connector, and already, like I say, already in a better mood. And it gets even better, and it does get even better. Now, I have already opened this because I wanted to have a look inside, but so I've released the sellotape there, but already inside, look, instead of a little bit of bubble wrap around it, we've got this lovely packaging, keeping the box nice. And then the box itself, I'm just going to slide it out, and then the box itself in this polythene bag, and it's one of the newer design packaging, which I love. And already getting to this stage, taking off the outer packaging, opening up the other box, receiving this model has already felt like an event. And yeah, I've already enjoyed just getting this far. So let's go around the box quickly before we get inside and have a look at the model. So again, repeating, R30365, DCC ready, 21 pin connected, HM7000 compatible. So it doesn't come with the sound chip, but you can put the sound chip inside. Does come with lamps and other accessories. We'll get into that when we go inside. On the side of the box, some information here about the Great Northern Railway, so GNR. So unlike the J15, where I believe the text on the side was a bit of a mistake, this does look like it's relevant to the loco that's inside the box, which is great. And we've got the label that's on the outer carton, repeated but printed onto the box here. On the side there, a nice schematic of the side of the loco, and then on the back of the box, the usual information that you would expect to find, not suitable for people under 14 years old, and manufacturer Hornby Hobbies, Westgate, Margate, although I think it goes without saying, made in China. So yeah, absolutely fantastic box, nice sturdy box to keep the model nice in. Now, the reason why I think packaging is so important, in the first instance is in delivery, so that you know, when you open these expensive models, the excitement is there and not this sort of underwhelming dread or disappointment when you open it and it's damaged. Secondly, this is very, very expensive. So for a small model on the Hornby website, this is just shy of £180, a little bit cheaper at the retailers. And obviously Hornby are doing a lot of sales and discounts and things at the moment. So I mean, for example, this weekend there's 20% off all in-stock items, so that brings the price of this down a little bit. Plus you get your Hornby points to spend on your next spend. So I did use a few of my Hornby points on this as well, so I did get a little bit cheaper. But yeah, in itself, at £180, you know, it's got to be good, and that starts with the packaging, and the packaging is worthy of a £180 model. It's going to keep this model nice over the years that I hope it's going to keep running. So inside the box we get a nice foam packaging, which is great. Instructions here. I'll just lift out the model itself, and that does look absolutely amazing, absolutely perfect. First reaction, I'm very excited to have a look inside here. This is as far as I got before. I just lifted this out to make sure there was nothing broken. It was all in one piece. So I haven't actually undone the plastic yet, but we'll come to that in one moment. Let's have a quick look at the instructions. So much the same as the J13, basically general instructions, running hints. Inside, let's have a quick look. We've got lubrication points, with it only obviously having the 6 wheels. There's lubrication points on where the mechanisms join, and the motion joins, sorry, the wheels, and then onto the 6 bearings underneath. We've got an accessories pack. So in the accessories bag supplied with your, well, they do actually do for two, this covers both models, so the J13 or the J52, you will find 6 lamps, front vac pipes, rear vac pipes and couplings. So basically, unlike the J15 that said possibly you might find, depending on the model, there was all caveats over it, this definitely tells you what should be in the bag. And you can see here we've got the 6 lamps and several different lamp posts so that you can change the lamp coding as you wish on your loco. We've got the vacuum pipes front and rear, and then the NEM pocket on the front and the coupling to fit on there. Got a few screws to undo to take the body off. So the first one is remove the NEM pocket, and there is a note on here that when reassembling, make sure the NEM pocket is reinstalled with the correct orientation. Got 2 screws at the rear, and then the body just lifts off, and then the decoder fitting. It's all ready to take the 21 pin HM7000 chip. Now I think I am actually going to get one of these for these, and I will fit it on the channel. Just to show how easy it is to do that. So basically you take the blanking plate out, put the new chip in. I have done it once before, I forget which loco I did it on, but I did it on the channel once before. But then also you can put the power bank in here, which basically keeps the loco running should it run over a dead point on your track or whatever. It just keeps it running for a few seconds, so there's no interruptions in running. And then it says down at the bottom here, please note a sugar cube speaker is pre-fitted to your model. Install a 21 decoder to make use of it. So a pre-fitted speaker in there as well, which is great. I believe it's also got a flickering firebox, but we'll come to that when we get the model running. And on the back here, still mentions about television suppression. I just find that quite amazing in this day and age, that radio and television interference suppressors, should interference be experienced, it may be due to close proximity of the model railway to receivers and aerials. Yeah, I am surprised at that in this day and age, especially as most of us are with digital, but I guess there are some people still using analog sets out there. And then the normal safety notices here. This loco is not suitable for children under 14, intended for indoor use, etc, etc. And then right at the bottom here, important, this locomotive made to exacting fine scale standards and therefore necessarily incorporates small and delicate protruding parts handled with care. With that said, I can't wait any longer. Let's get inside. So, I love this type of packaging. We'll take the outer sleeve off. Here's our accessories bag, and you can see in there, there's 6 separate lamps to be fitted onto the loco. We've got the 2 vacuum pipes with a little colour added to them so that they are discreet against the buffer beam, and then the coupling there should you wish to add that onto the front of the loco. We undo the blister pack, if I can lift it out, that's it, and then the loco is presented to us. Now my eye straight away went to the mark on the top there, but it's not, it's actually rivets on the top of the boiler, and there's a very discreet handrail fitted on top. This looks absolutely beautiful. Let me just lift it out of the box for a moment. Oh, it is good. It is really, really good. But before I go any further, I'm just going to read out what it says on the sales literature on the website. So, Ray Safari cab roof ventilator, which is just here. Matte smoke box and cab roof finish. So, yeah, the smoke box, the double footstep arrangement at the back here, and an exquisite lining on there. We'll come to that in a moment. The coal bunker with coal rails all around the coal bunker. There's a separately fitted rails all the way around. We've got flushed faced conrods. We've got ram's bottom safety valves, a 3 foot 3 inch built up chimney, which indeed is there, and the GNR tapered buffer stocks. You can see those on the front there. So of course, with this being one of Hornby's latest release models, there's a lot of information about the model itself, so we'll go through that as well. But one thing I did want to say is, on Hornby's website, the actual description for this model is extensive, it's coherent, it's really well written, and there's a lot of information there, which you don't normally get with Hornby models. So hopefully this is a sign of things to come. But let's go through what it says about this model. So, new tooling, completely new tool model, obviously sharing with the J52 that came out earlier this year. So this is off the same tooling as that, the J13. Highly detailed 00 gauge based on extensive research of original works drawings. So yeah, hopefully all of the detail, all of the accuracy is in the model. A die-cast boiler, chassis and running plate. The model weight is 235 grams. We'll check the weight in a bit, but no reason to doubt that it's 235. It's a very weighty loco for its size. A highly detailed cab and a fully decorated back head with decorated instrument dials. And indeed, inside the cab is absolutely exquisite. And I will get some close-up photos of this when we go around the model. It's got a decoder-controlled Firebox flicker. So obviously when you fit your HM7000 chip in here, you'll also get the Firebox flicker in a controlled manner, but I believe on analog it should flicker anyway. It goes on to say HM7000 21-pin sound decoder compatible, the same with the power bank compatible. It's got a powerful 5-pole skew-wound motor, a pogo pin wheel pickup arrangement for easier pickup servicing, die-cast conrods. So that's interesting. Actually, yeah, you can see the finish on them. This one's got a little bit of a burr on there, but we'll come to that. I think that's just a little mark on there, which is unfortunate, but that's one of those things. I'm not going to detract from the model for me. It's got prototypical handrails and stanchions, and yeah, they are perfectly formed and perfectly scaled. It says it's fitted with oilite main drive bearings. Now, there are other reviewers on the internet that will take these apart and show you what's inside. I'm not going to do that. I'm just talking through what I think special about the model and how it looks. But I've no reason to doubt that it's got those bearings inside. Sprung metal buffers. It's got front and rear NEM coupling pockets. And the rear coupling pocket has a close coupling mechanism. So you can see as it rotates, you can see it's not rotating through an arc, it's pulling away from the body, which is fantastic. Pickups on all wheels, accessories in the bag there, separately fitted lamps so the lamp codes can be changed, and a separately fitted simulated coal in the bunker there. So let's have a look around this model. We're starting inside the cab. I think this probably is one of the best interiors that I've seen on a model for, well, I think it is the best interior that I've seen on a model. I was going to say for ages, but it is absolutely exquisite in there. The dials are all printed, all the pipe work's picked out. As they say, the back plate of the Firebox is absolutely perfect on there. We've got a little wheel on the rear side picked out in red, and a cupboard on the back there, all perfectly moulded. And I can see through the rear lights the glazing with the bars across the glazing there. Really, really beautifully done. Well, working around the exterior of the body, I mean, the printing on this is totally exceptional. The lines are really crisp, absolutely perfectly printed. Where it crosses over a rivet just here, there's no blemish in the painting. It's absolutely spot on all the way around the cab door. We've got separately fitted handrails either side of the cab door, and it looks like a separately fitted cab door in there, which is beautifully formed with the rivets. We've got the rivets holding the steps onto the running board, but also individual rivets holding each of the steps onto the frame, and beautifully lined down either side, picked out in red. Now the running board itself has a painted in black, sort of a semi-gloss finish, as I mentioned a moment ago, but we've got a red line at the top and a red line at the bottom. Really crisp, and no blemishes at all on there, as you'd expect. The printing of the numbers on the side of the cab, absolutely spot on. No fault in those at all, and the same with GNR written down the side here. On the side of the water tank, again, the lining is crisp and perfect all the way around with this black lining, and then a white line on the inside and the outside of the black line there. Got a separately fitted handrail along the side of the water tank and along the top of the water tank, and as mentioned by the information supplied by Hornby, these are to prototypical scale, so very discreet handrails and the stanchions that hold them on. So coming out of the cab, we can see the two control mechanisms running down the side of the model here, and a pipework running from the steam dome underneath the water tank and down underneath the loco. Underneath the boiler, there's exceptional moulding in terms of the centre piston. Very detailed under there for somewhere that normally wouldn't get any attention. And then we come on to the, I'll be very careful how I handle this, and then we come on to the wheel arch here, which has got this lovely gold banding and the perfect lines around here with the works plate just on the side there. Again, steps on the front here picked out in red, and let's come down onto the detailing on the chassis here. So the actual chassis itself, as mentioned before, is die cast, and we've got all the rivets and detailing showing on the side of the chassis. The conrods themselves are die cast. Now I've got a little blemish on this side. It doesn't actually worry me, but there is a very slight blemish on the conrod there, and I will get a nice detailed photograph of that. But the way the conrods are attached, absolutely perfect, and the painting on the wheels is spot on, absolutely spot on. I mean, that's what really does set this model apart, is the quality of the paintwork on it. Moving forward onto the smoke box, as mentioned before, finished in a matte finish on here, sprung buffers and the buffer beam with all the rivets on there, and again the printing absolutely perfect. I didn't actually mention underneath, because pre-fitted with the brake assembly to the model. That's all pre-fitted onto this model. Normally these would come in the accessories bag, but this one, it's all been fitted on there, and very robustly attached as well, so you're not going to lose that travelling around on the layout. Also on the front, we've got the wheel protection guides. I don't know what you call these. Somebody did tell me a while back, but yeah, these two little pieces at the front here that obviously would make sure there's nothing on the rails as the loco travels along that could cause a derailment. Going back to the smoke box dart separately fitted, and both the inner and the outer locking mechanism are separately moulded or separately fitted onto the smoke box, along with what appears to be a separately fitted hinge. Wonderful detail on there, and a separately fitted handrail on the front. This is where we come into our light fittings. We've got a light fitting just on the top of the smoke box there, and then 4 along the front here, 3 equally spaced and 2 to one side, giving you the opportunity to put the supplied lights in the coding that you wish onto the loco. Moving around to the other side, much the same as the previous side of the model, with the handrail running all the way down the side of the model, and the other separate handrail on top of the saddle tank there. And just on top of the saddle tank, just to mention, I did mention the rivets earlier, but the steam dome is perfectly formed. The water filling cap there, again perfectly formed with a separately fitted handle on there, and then you've got the tiny little safety valves down inside there, little protection there, all picked out in brass and looking perfect, and again with the whistle there, looks absolutely wonderful. Down this side of the model, again all of the details just continue. I mean, it is really is exceptional. And on this side, without the blemish on the con rods, you can see how they're got this sort of textured finish where they've been die cast. The lining is perfect. We've got mechanisms running down underneath the boiler on this side, and as we come towards the back of the loco on the top here, we mentioned the raised safari cab roof, and around the coal bunker, all of the separately fitted rails, very discreet steps on the side of the cab, and 3 lamp brackets, or 4 lamp brackets, 3 equally spaced and 2 to one side again for your lamp coding. Again, sprung loaded buffers on the rear here, and a red buffer beam, absolutely perfect. Even down to the end of the buffer beam has got some very discreet printing just around the edge there. It is really an exquisite model, and just looking back inside the cab, I can see here the reversing lever all picked out in red. It is, well, it is easily one of the best models I've seen, and it just shows, again, I'm going to repeat myself. Now, I mentioned on the J13 review, I think we're in sort of a heyday of model railways, where we're getting these exceptional models with this exceptional detailing. And remember, these are mass produced, and the quality of them is absolutely amazing. I mean, yes, we are paying a lot of money for them, but with all the discounts and things that Hornby are offering at the moment, and at the retailers, you know, there are bargains to be picked up out there. And yeah, £180, this is quite an expensive loco, or the best part of £180. But yeah, when you look at the retailers and trying to get discounts on there, it brings the price down. And for this level of detail and quality, it is quite special. It is quite special, particularly when you look inside the cab there. Yeah, really beautiful model. And just to mention again, on the rear spectacles, the grille over the top of them, the handrail, and the perfect printing on the back of the coal bunker there. Spectacles on the front are absolutely perfectly formed, and we've got the traction pipes underneath the loco that well, that one's bent down a little bit. Let me just move that away. That's fine. Yeah, so an exceptional model. What I'm going to do now is I shall just weigh this just to make sure that it is the 225 grams that Hornby says it is, and then we'll take it over to the track and see how it runs. Right, just pop this on the scales. Now, I think I said 225. I'm just checking my notes. Hornby said 235, and it's coming in at 236 on my scales. Well, my scale's probably out, but you know, gram either way. It's nothing to worry about, but yeah, quite a weighty loco for its size. So right, let's take this over and let's see if it runs as good as it looks. Let's give this a little bit of power. There's a lot of control there, but I have found in just a couple of test runs that it does stick now and again. You know, that's creeping beautifully. I'm just running it back and forth over the points. I'm just going to move the camera along a little bit. So there's a set of points just behind the green loco there, and let's just run this over the... Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. I think it was just where it was new out the box, probably needed to turn a wheel a little bit. Obviously this hasn't been fully run in. So there's beautiful control. There you go, that's stuck again. Yeah, it's just, it won't take a lot, but just at this very low speed, it's just sticking every now and again. Not enough to worry about, but a little bit frustrating. And just to demonstrate the flickering firebox, you can see there the glow reflecting on the bunker doors, and just there inside the firebox, the glow from the fire. Well, I'm getting the information for this bit from the box and other bits of research I've done. I have to say the information on the box again is a little bit confusing, but I'll do my best here. The Great Northern Railway introduced its J13 class in 1897 as a development of the J14 060 design by Patrick Stirling, which dated back to its introduction 5 years before in 1892. The new locomotives were overseen by Stirling's successor, Henry Ivert. They benefited from a greater diameter boiler and had a different steam dome. 85 were built between 1897 and 1909. Several of the J14s were rebuilt as J13s from 1922. At the time of grouping, all of the class would become the J52. The LNER reclassified the J13s as J52s. They introduced two subclasses, the J52-1s for the rebuilt engines and the J52-2s for the original J13s. A withdrawal programme for the 060 started in 1936 but was halted at the outbreak of the Second World War, which meant a total of 132 locomotives surviving until nationalisation in 1948. Their time under British Railways was limited though, as withdrawals once more got underway in 1950 with the arrival of a large number of new 350 diesel-electric shunters. The last to be displaced was in 1961, and surprisingly, only one example survived into preservation. This was privately preserved by Captain Bill Smith in 1959 and became the first locomotive to be privately preserved from British Rail. Number 1257 was built at the Great Northern Railway's Doncaster Works and entered traffic in December 1901. Under the LNER, it was reclassified as a J52 and renumbered to 4257. The locomotive was withdrawn from service in October 1951, achieving almost 50 years of service. The model that we see here is presented in the original Great Northern Railway apple green with its black and white lining and red shaded gold lettering and numerals. Well, this week Sam of Sam's Trains put out a video about honest reviews. Well, I like to think my reviews are very honest, so for the purpose of that I'm just going to show you a different loco taking these points at speed, and back the other way, and you can see there's no issue at all across these points. And now I'm going to change over to the J13. Right, let me demonstrate the J13. So back across the points, and I'll just bring it back towards me, and there you can see it's just derailing. I mean, they're not the greatest set of points, but you see it's off again. One more try. This time I'll go a little bit slower. It will make them. I mean, it has made them. But if I go too slow, it's getting stuck on the dead spot. There we go. And now if I go a little bit quicker, and we're off the track. So I'm trying to be honest here. I mean, I think the loco is absolutely beautiful. I think it's fantastic. This particular one isn't going around my track very easily, so I'm going to film it moving. What I'm actually going to do is turn it through 90 degrees, film it going around the track the other way, because it seems to cross the points quite easily in this direction. And yeah, I'll finish filming the video, and then maybe I'll drop Hornby a line and just see. It does feel very, well, I'm not going to measure the gauge, I'm going to do that off camera, but there's a lot of slop with it on the rails there, so yeah, it may just be catching as it's going over those points, but it definitely doesn't like that set of points. Well, just to correct myself, right at the beginning I said just shy of £180. It's actually just shy of £175. So just to make sure that I've corrected myself there, that's on the Hornby website, but obviously a little bit cheaper at the retailers. Now, it's an 060, it's a small engine, it's a lot of money. And I'm struggling a little bit to wrap this review up nicely. I want to say so many positive things about it. It's such a lovely looking loco. The detailing on it is probably some of the best that Hornby's ever done. Loving the Firebox flicker. I love the way that it moves back and forth, it's fantastic. But I can't get past the fact that it's really been troublesome to film, because it's just getting caught on the set of points here. It's also got caught on another couple of sets of points, and I do wonder if it's something to do with the gauging. As I say, it's a little bit sloppy on the track. So a little bit temperamental in terms of its running, and I would have hoped that to be a lot better for a brand new loco, especially an 060, because it's there's not a lot of complexity there. So yeah, I need to look into this a little bit more, see if other people are having a similar problem, or is this just one of those things. But I do want to give it a very positive review, because it is a lovely loco, very expensive. I'm very lucky to have it. Anyway, if you enjoyed my review, please do give it a thumbs up, and why not check out the channel. Lots on there, and if you can subscribe, I'll be very, very grateful. And with that, we'll leave this one there. I'll just say thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.